The recent collapse of the FTX crypto exchange located in the Bahamas has sent shock waves throughout the financial markets and has also become a political scandal, due to millions of dollars being supplied to Democratic Party midterm election candidates. Sam Bankman-Fried, the Jewish-American founder of failed cryptocurrency exchange FTX, allegedly laundered billions of dollars through Ukraine by setting up his company as the central clearinghouse for all crypto donations to Kiev's war effort, according to sources. Democratic politicians sending aid to Ukraine would see their money come back in the form of campaign donations through FTX, it is claimed. FTX launched crypto donation platform Aid for Ukraine in March, setting itself up as the central provider for all cryptocurrency donations to Kiev's war effort. While the exchange was supposed to route those donations to the National Bank of Ukraine, the report suggests it funneled at least some of the money back to the U.S. through political donations. Bankman-Fried was the second largest donor to the Democratic Party for the midterms, just under George Soros, the top donor, pouring some $38 million into candidates' coffers in 2022 alone. The Ukrainian government had already received over $60 million in crypto donations as of March. FTX did not publish the amount subsequently taken in, but other fundraising campaigns on Kiev's behalf have been hugely successful. Whatever funds the exchange had under management have presumably evaporated with the rest of its assets due to an alleged hack last week, and the exchange filed for bankruptcy on Friday. The resulting chaos has sent crypto markets spiraling. In addition to bankrolling political campaigns, Bankman-Fried spent millions lobbying to shape cryptocurrency regulations. Democrats responsible for overseeing the Commodity Futures Trading Commission were particular targets for his largesse, and he is now under investigation by that same agency for moving $10 billion in client assets off FTX to his hedge fund Alameda Research. While Bankman-Fried's private jet has been tracked to Argentina, the disgraced billionaire insisted on Saturday that he was still in the Bahamas. Biden takes taxpayer money, gives to Ukraine, takes the money, puts into FTX, donors put money in FTX, FTX kicks back large share to U.S. politicians and the CIA, FTX owners funnel their share into another company, Ukrainian oligarchs take their share, U.S. taxpayers get cheated and so do FTX investors. There will be no justice for this crime. Following a week when founder, Sam Bankman-Fried filed for bankruptcy and resigned as CEO, it is Sam Bankman-Fried himself who is hacking his own exchange to get users' funds. After all, it's coming out Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto empire was run by a gang of kids in the Bahamas who all dated each other at FTX headquarters, which has been taken over by the Royal Bahamas Police. SBF's ex-girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, received $10 billion of FTX customer funds through hedge fund, Alameda Research, which she manages. There are rumors that she is currently in Hong Kong, where she is planning to board a flight to Dubai, where there are no extradition treaties with the USA. So, will Mr. Fried go to jail? Will he suffer repercussions for his injustices? And of course, he's donated a lot to politicians in the Democratic Party. He's been a top donor even as his exchange was going bust, yet there's one small nuance: they might actually go after him and punish him anyway. And here's the strange part: not a lot of people know he actually had pledged up to $1 billion in donations this cycle, so there are actually many Democrats who are upset with him that he only gave $38 million. So if they do indict him, it's because he didn't buy the gold-plated insurance policy. He just settled for the cheap version instead. So, if he is brought to justice, or if he does get in trouble, that will be one of the lessons of the tale for future crony capitalists. They should pay up for full freight, or else they are going to get into real trouble. FTX assets have now been frozen by securities regulators in the Bahamas, where the company is based, and this has become the end of the game in which Mr. Fried's entire multi-billion-dollar fortune has now been vaporized. As it is being said, SBF, as he is known, is a flaming criminal, and those around him are also lawbreakers. We now know Ukraine is definitely a money laundering scam. BLM was also a slush fund operation for the DNC, and the Democrat criminals are laundering money to get all of the fortification necessary for future elections. Many have claimed that Joe Biden couldn't raise any cash, and the Democrat Party isn't going to raise any money either because nobody cares about Democrats now. BLM was able to sucker many guilty white liberals and then racially extort corporations into donating and then laundering it again. But for the most part, ordinary black people have not benefited from the BLM grift. Only a handful of black people who've got lots of mansions have been the beneficiaries. As it turns out, Ukraine is actually the second version of the BLM playbook. Now that the American public is fully aware that the BLM protests of 2020 were a well-orchestrated confidence game, a new plan to extract money from citizens had to be created, and this time it was to be a special operation involving Ukraine. SBF set up a digital tunnel for this money to be sent to Ukraine through a special donations portal. Then the Ukrainian government sends the cash back to Fried in the form of crypto so nobody sees what's going on. What the FTX collapse reveals is basically a Democrat slush fund using secret backdoor access to FTX user accounts. It is very telling that SBF declares bankruptcy for his crypto exchange right after the U.S. midterm elections. FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried was touted a potential Democrat savior ahead of the midterms, but it turns out he is a rogue actor on a dark stage. On midterm election day, Mr. Fried managed to lose nearly 94% of his estimated $15.6 billion fortune. He was running a gigantic digital bogus scheme, and he got annihilated by one fellow on Twitter who was pointing out that he was operating a scam and leveraged that information against him openly on the platform. The result was FTX imploded, and the entire scheme was taken down. This clandestine Ukrainian operation just lost a gigantic pipeline for laundering cash for the Democrats. Mr. Fried has just been destroyed and ousted as a criminal, and all of this is happening not by accident. So often this man has been doing TED Talks or he's doing conventions with Bill Clinton and Tony Blair. He's got all of the Democrat talking points. He owns personal jets, but he claims to care so much about climate change, but it is mainly smoke and mirrors. YouTube promotes this moron by helping him run a classic confidence scheme, but they won't let you question elections when they'll go and protect a guy running a multi-billion-dollar theft operation. Fortune magazine, Bloomberg, CNN, and all of the establishment legacy media out there, have been actively promoting and protecting this thief, and it all fell in on itself. It is likely Democrats were hoping to launder billions of dollars through this FTX exchange to fortify the 2024 election. But the plan ultimately failed.